It was about a year ago the Roland Story School District made headlines as parents demanded answers about who and how key decisions were made following a sexual assault involving 3 members of its wrestling team. The parents of the victim are sitting down with our Elias Johnson to share what this has been like for them. Melissa and Terry Webb never wanted to go public about what their family has been through.
They also say they never intended to sue the Roland Story School District, but they were left with few options thanks to several district officials. Our Elias Johnson joins us now. You've been covering this story for months.
Yeah, you talk about being invested in something that you never really intended to in the beginning. So Aaron and Janae, I got involved with this story after the 2 high school wrestlers were arrested for assaulting the Webb son, fellow teammate as well. And then I was assigned to cover a school board meeting as parents began voicing their concerns over what was happening in this case and much more. And so in the days that followed, I heard from current, former staff, families in Story City who all shared their own accounts of what they call dysfunctional leadership. But few publicly wanted to speak over fear of retaliation. The Webbs told me their experience was one they couldn't stay quiet about any longer.
That's that lab we had.
Bo.
Memories inside a photo album remind Melissa and Terry Webb of how lucky they are.
We've always been together.
With 3 sons, always the center of their universe. Page after page of good times, which makes memories they wish didn't happen hard to forget.
When they stopped being happy for a time being, that was hard.
One time in particular began with a phone call Melissa received on the morning of April 22nd, 2022.
And I got a call from a parent that I never knew. I had never known her before, but she was very concerned about something her son had shared with her.
According to that mother, Melissa's son, who was a freshman in high school, shared details of an assault that occurred inside the Webbs' home 3 months earlier.
He was supposed to be able to trust them.
Definitely a shock. I mean, you don't expect to hear that with your, from your son, and that's his friends did that to him. Like Melissa was saying, those are, close friends, teammates.
During a gathering of friends, 2 upperclassmen who were also teammates on the Roland Story wrestling team assaulted Melissa's son in a bedroom. His clothes were stripped off, and he was sodomized with a pencil. Unaware, their oldest son and others on the team watched football in a separate room. Melissa and Terry were not home when the assault took place.
They told him, no, we're just joking. Hey, we're just playing around, man. It's no big deal.
The mother who called Melissa reported the assault to the Department of Human Services, while Melissa used the school district's P3 reporting system, an anonymous tip line linked to the Story County Sheriff's Office. As the investigation began, a low point set in.
There was suicidal talk. Yes, it was extremely heartbreaking and hard, and trying to navigate all of that. I had reached out to the school district almost immediately to just say, hey, we need to sit down and talk about a plan for education, because as we realized how serious of a crime this was and that there was going to be a criminal investigation, we just didn't know how to put our children back into a school with the very people who had hurt them.
With 4 weeks left in the school year, they met with the high school principal, guidance counselor, a sheriff's deputy, and district superintendent Matt Patton to discuss a safe way to finish the year.
Patton's #1 recommendation was Edgenuity.
An online education system the Webbs say was separate from the virtual program Roland Story used for all students during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Patton kept stressing that Governor Reynolds would have his job if he required his teachers to give us online learning.
Very little support. There's no plan. It's like, like Melissa was saying, they just gave us pretty much one option because they weren't going to do online because it wasn't required anymore. The state says you can't do online learning.
The Webbs followed Patton's recommendation and finished the school year. In July, they left Story City and moved for a fresh start. But as they prepared to enroll their boys into a new school, they say credits were missing on their transcripts.
Just struggled and communicated with the school about, can we get those credits? Our boys deserve those credits, and we were getting nowhere with that communication.
It's not okay to take credits away from a victim who could not go back to school and be sitting alongside of 2 perpetrators.
Then we decided, well, let's at least see if we can find a lawyer that would help us with that.
It is absolutely outrageous to see a case where a victim is the one getting punished.
Attorney Allison Canny agreed to represent the Webb family and says after reviewing their case, concluded the missing academic credits were part of a bigger problem.
What really stands out in this case?
I don't think that the school would have responded the same way had it been a female who had been forcibly penetrated by an object.
On November 6th of 2022, the two students accused of assaulting the Webb son were formally charged. Both eventually pled guilty to the assault in juvenile court.
I want answers, and I want us all to come together.
In the weeks that followed, parents filled the school board meetings to speak publicly about bullying.
Is anything being done about it? We've asked the school.
Discussions led to board member Jasmine Getter's resignation on December 11th.
If you're the only person on that team who uses their voice to raise concerns and try to impact change, you very quickly learn that your seat on the board is futile.
On December 20th, the Webbs filed a formal complaint with the Iowa Civil Rights Commission alleging sexual discrimination and retaliation by Roland Story School officials. 6 months later, on June 30th, the commission issued a 60-day right-to-sue letter. The Webbs moved forward and filed a civil lawsuit against the school district on September 7th.
I'm here because of, yes, our story, but all of the stories that happen either prior to us or either right behind us that are not being addressed, and continue to see this kind of treatment from a superintendent and school board president. And it has to stop.
6 counts are alleged in the lawsuit, including sexual discrimination, retaliation, negligence, negligent training and supervision of employees, and 2 counts of loss of consortium, each for Melissa and Terry.
It doesn't seem like the school district took it seriously until the public became aware. I think my hope, and I think the family's hope, is to see some widespread change.
As the Webbs work to resolve a memory they'd like to forget,
We feel good to be where we're at.
they've made a fresh start, focused on making new memories.
We have a good crew of people where we live now.
We've definitely weathered some really hard storms.
I reached out to everyone named in this lawsuit at the school district for an opportunity to tell their side of the story, as well as the attorney currently representing the Roland Story School District. I did not get a response. I did hear from a parent from the district who says changes have been made to the school's good conduct policy that bars any student charged with a felony from participating in extracurriculars. Court filings show the district denies the allegations in the Webbs lawsuit, but last week a judge in the case motioned for this trial. A jury trial, as requested, will proceed. A conference to discuss a trial date is set for December 5th. There are no damage amounts here listed. It will all be determined if it does indeed go through the trial process and a jury and a judge decides to do that.
All right, we'll definitely follow up next month. We appreciate your months of work on this, Elias.
Yeah.